Good morning. It is Friday, August 2nd. What are you doing? How are you beating the heat? Doing some painting, getting ready to promote another class. Got a dragonfly going on. It's a little discombobulated right now. It's in the second stage. Usually I do the background, I put in the image, and then I create everything. Let me turn this just a little bit for a minute. A couple things I want to talk about this morning. I hope you can hear me. I'm in my kitchen. Normally I like to paint either on the back porch in my little studio, but it's too hot, or outside where it is extremely hot. The humidity is god-awful here in St. Louis, Missouri. But I'm Kitryn Marie. I do reside in St. Louis. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, teach a variety of classes. It has always been how I have had my extra money. For a while it was my bread and butter. Life has been crazy. Always have had my hand in food and beverage, which I'm getting ready to go back to a really good gig starting next Monday. I've had a couple days off. Ran out to my pony last night to check on her. She is coming along beautifully. For anybody who has said prayers for her, thank you. Another 40 pounds back on her, and we ride. But I have not been able to ride her. One, it's too hot, and two, she's been really, really sick. But I want to talk a little bit this morning about how you're participating in your relationship, and for you to understand you cannot abandon anything or anyone who has already abandoned himself or herself. We are constantly working on ourselves. We are constantly, even when we get to a very comfortable situation, you still have to participate in your own well-being. Whether that be your mental state, your physical state, your emotional state, you still need to regulate who you are and how you have become. You know, I was thinking back this morning on a few different stories, and, you know, the flood of travels that I have been on in the last 8 years, it has been a blessing. It has been an opportunity because it is the life I have always dreamed of. And the person that I was with, we had the time to do it. There was funds where we were able to do it. How the relationship fell apart, maybe it ran its course, maybe all mask fell off, and the original abandonment of self came into play, because when somebody wears a mask, they can't continue with a lifestyle that they are proving to be something that they want. And people who have abandoned their own dreams, their own desires, they get sucked into things because it's a very familiar, miserable comfort zone. You know, you can always make more money. You can always plan another trip. You can always change another job. You cannot necessarily neglect your health. You cannot necessarily neglect your emotional state. You cannot neglect deep spirituality. And spirituality falls sometimes away from religion. We all should have a basic formula on how the higher power and how your God works, and how you pray, and how you want to participate that part of your life into your well-being. When I am painting, that is attributing to my well-being. When I am teaching, when I am speaking, it gives me purpose. Might look like a hobby to somebody, might look like I'm being extremely foolish, but it's who I am. It's what I have trained for all of my life. You know, the first 7 years of our life is what shapes who we are and basically who we become. And then after the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, environment, family starts to take shape. And like I said yesterday, that standard of measure starts to play. Maybe because of my upbringing and the domestic violence that occurred and the withdrawing to protect my own mental health, it carried with me into an adult. And I turned that into a creative part of my life that actually brought me peace. What is it in your life that you are doing that is bringing you peace? And if you are angry all the time because of the environment that you are in, that you cannot get out of that familiar, miserable comfort zone, why are you continuing to stay there? Why are you continuing to abandon who you are and where you need to be and what you want your life to look like? You know, as a dreamer, and as I teach my vision board classes, I talk about dreaming delusionally, because your higher power, your God, your universe only responds to the things that you are saying and doing. And of course, the realistic part is, your feet are in the ground, you're going off to, interact with whoever you need to interact with to earn some kind of an income. But why is that taken away from how you dream, how you envision what life looks like? As a little girl, I wanted to live on a farm. I wanted horses, I wanted cows, I wanted chicken. It's not chickens. It's not too far from where I am right now. The dream is this much closer because I'm an adult and I know what funds and what responsibilities come with that type of dream. My horse, I love my horse. She is, again, my tranquility, my peace of mind. If you are always concentrating on the environment that society tells you that you need to do in a 3D type world, if that makes it any clearer for you, you will never get out of that abandonment that you have within yourself. I was thinking back to years back, when I was trying to build a life with somebody else, and he had children, and he would not take the correct measures to be responsible financially for his own children, and that burden fell onto me. The burden of, I had my own dreams, I had my own responsibilities, I had a goal in which I was wanting to go, but because he was so sucked into a toxic environment, not paying attention to really what anybody needed for their highest good. Now, where that relationship went, that was a very long time ago. It was a different time, a different place, really a different situation, where now, because I teach and I can look back, because I put this vision board together when I'm teaching, when I'm talking to people about their emotional state, their physical state, their mental state, what makes them happy, what do they want to attract into their lives. And when you have one foot in a new life, you can't keep looking back to the old life. You have to decide, which life do you want? And oftentimes, we get in these situations, in these relationships, and things become very comfortable because, once again, a mask falls off and you look at the reality of everything and you realize, this isn't the life you want. That's the life you want. That is the life you've always wanted. But because you have listened to too many people tell you what you need in your life, because you have abandoned yourself. And I do talk about those things in my vision board class. The vision board class is $65 a person. It's based in psychology. It's based on life coaching. It's about explaining to you why you think the way you do, why you feel you need to do the things you do, and the type of character you are, because you have compared your life with what somebody else has told you to do and to be, because you have abandoned your own ideas. And when we talk about abandonment, what is that? Somebody leaves you. Somebody gets away from you. Somebody walks away from you. And you, depending on who you are and what the situation is, it's about who got away from you, what got away from you, what escaped from you, because you were not aligned with who you were supposed to be as a human being, with dreams and desires and goals to get you to a much better life. But I am Kitryn Marie. I do reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach, working on this painting, $45 each, minimum of 10. I bring supplies to you. For today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Fate turns on a dime. You decide what side of that coin you want to be on. Pay attention to who you are and stop abandoning yourself.